Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another video. And in this video we'll be talking about the different ways of importing modules in Python. So modules are just basically pre-written code that helps you to do things specifically in your own code that you are writing. So the first way is just by using the import keyword and then the name of the module. So by saying import, then I'm going to be using random as an example. Import random. So the random module is just a module for generating random numbers, random integers, and maybe selecting a random element from a list or any given collection of data. Now the way you can use this module is by, in your code, let's say I want to generate a random integer, I can just say number is equal to, now I want to use the module, what I would say is random. I'll have to prefix what I want to do with this module, random dot rand int, which is a function inside this module. Then I can give it a start and an ending number. So this is the basic way of using this method. If you import it like this, you have to prefix every function inside that module with the name of the module and a dot in front of it. The second way of importing it is by using a nickname. There are some modules that are quite long, like this one called matplotlib. It is quite a long name, and if you want to access a function inside it, you have to type out the name of the module every time you want to use it. And something like this can actually increase the time it takes for us to write our code. So we can use nicknames. So at the top here we can say import matplotlib, as you can give it any name you want. You can be like mpl or something, or maybe just mp. So anytime you want to access this module and the functions inside, all you have to do is use the nickname that you have given to it. So mp dot the name of the function and whatever you need to add into the function as parameters. The next way is by using the from keyword. So with this, you are going to import everything that is inside the module. So let's say from random import star. So this means that every single function inside this random module is what you are importing. So because of this, I do not need to prefix every function with random anytime I want to use it. I can just say number is equal to rand int, and you can see it doesn't give me an error because I've already imported this function. Now there's a very common problem with this, that since you are importing everything from the random module, you do not actually know all the functions that you are importing from that module. So there is a very high chance that you can create another function that is in this module but is also in your code. So when you try to call that function, it can actually like clash with this function that you have already imported from the random module. So the only time that it is actually advised to use this method is when you are creating short pieces of code and you are only going to be using that one module, and you won't also be creating a lot of functions in that piece of code. But for large projects that you'll be using a lot more modules and libraries, you shouldn't use this method at all because it could create some serious errors in your code. The next method is by actually importing each function one by one. So if I'm creating like a guessing game, for example, and I need to generate a random integer from a starting number to an ending number, instead of importing everything or just using the import random keyword as I talked about earlier, I can just import that function straight away. So now from this random module, the only thing that will be imported is rand int, so I can use that function in my code. I can't use any other function from the random module because it wasn't imported. So this is a better way of using the from keyword, because you actually know what you are importing and you know that you shouldn't create any functions that has the same name as the function that you have imported. And it isn't only one function you can import at a time. You can also import more than one. Let's say I want to import rand range, I want to import choice. I can import more than one at a time and use them at different areas of my code. And as I talked about using nicknames earlier, you can also kind of reduce the number of letters in the function that you are importing. So instead of saying rand int, I can just say from random import rand int as maybe rd, and this is good for functions that are quite long inside the module you are importing. So since I've given this function that I've imported in nickname, sort of, I can just come to where I'm using it and give it that nickname, and it will work just as fine. So those are all the ways that you can import and use modules in your code. I hope you learned something from this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.